how's it going?
It's going great.
All right. I'll start first if that's okay. We are a little bit ahead of the panel, so I hopefully if it's okay to ask potentially if that panel is going to officially announce the next season, possibly.
If it does, I'd be the most surprised person in the room. I don't think they will. I'm very confident we're going to get a season 4. The way SYFY kind of always does it, they have to wait until the entire season airs before they make a decision on a new season.
Yeah.
But from talking to them, I know that everyone over at the network is a huge fan of the show, which helps. And you never know these days because TV is in such flux. But
right.
I think it's helpful that this year the first 2 seasons are on Netflix, and that's expanded our audience.
Yeah.
So we have a lot more fans than we used to have, and we're doing very well on Netflix too. So I don't know how we're doing on SYFY, but it's just a weird time. I mean, a lot of people don't have cable anymore. And,
right.
We're sort of seen as a genre show, so I think, and we are, but I think it's also a crossover show. So I think some people don't seek us out on SYFY maybe because they feel like, oh, it's just an alien show. Whereas if it's on Netflix, over there it just feels like something else you can watch and people get hooked into it. So, I'm confident about it, but I wouldn't expect it to be announced today.
All right, fingers crossed.
Wait.
Yeah, fingers crossed. We'll see.
Well, I'm going to ask the meta question. What is it about patience that attracts so many aliens? Like for decades, that
Great question.
Alien activity.
Great question. There is nothing about patience that attracts aliens except that there are humans there. I think.
So there's alien activity everywhere.
Yeah, I think this is something we're going to explore more in season 4. When we brought in end of season 2 and then into this season, we started pulling outside of the hairy alien situation. Started pulling the other characters into, the Greys and stuff like that. And we've had inner discussions about this, how it might feel like, oh, it's all tied into Harry. But the reality of Harry never came down to Earth. And the show was developed this way that, even if the alien didn't show up, I wanted to make everyone 3-dimensional enough to, so there's stuff going on. So it'd be a fun show to watch, even if you didn't have Harry. And then you make it real, and then you drop an alien in the middle of it, and he gets to react off that reality. But if Harry never came down, Ben and Kate still would be abducted by Greys. I mean, for people who believe in alien abductions, and I happen to be one of them, it is happening. It's happening everywhere, and it's not just in Patience, Colorado. If in Denver, Colorado, or in Dubuque or whatever, no matter where you are in Boston, it's happening. And if you read about it, people are being abducted everywhere. So I think we'll make that more clear in season 4, that it doesn't have to be related to Harry. This is just something that they do, and it's pretty common and way more common than people know about because no one remembers that it happens. But it does affect people every day.
So there's nothing special about the patient's location in terms of the Grey's operations or anything like that?
That is not, as of now, there's nothing special about no. I like the fact that it is just something that happens everywhere. And it's scarier to me that you can't really get away from it. There are stories of people being abducted out of high-rises in New York City. How that happens, I have no idea. But somehow they can do it. I don't know. People talk about it all the time. It's crazy.
Now I'm starting to wonder who's really answering these interviews over here.
I'm like some weird
It's been an amazing ride up until this point, and obviously we're getting ready to brace ourselves for the finale in just a few days here. So what would be some descriptives that you would give the fans for the finale?
The finale is, it's a big one. There's a lot going on. I mean, the last couple episodes, a lot was going on leading to the finale, and the finale has a lot. There's a lot of turns for all the characters. There's big moves for everybody. I don't like going out of a season with a whimper and sort of have it all wrapped up. I like having, what's going to happen next, and there's a lot of those.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of big moves, big character moves at the end of this one. So it makes me excited, and I'm sure the fans will be excited to see what happens. It makes me excited to write a season 4 with my writing staff because you'll see when you watch it. There's a lot of things that are now like, oh wow, what's going to happen with this?
Really quickly, follow-up question. One thing with your fantastic cast, one thing I don't think the show gets enough credit for is its young nucleus. Talk about some of the things you do to get them to shine in the capacity they do. I mean, there's a particular scene with Alan and Graceland that you wonder who actually has the longer resume here. Just wonder, how do you position your young talent to be so successful and thrive in these moments with your juggernaut of a cast?
It's a great question. I mean, the truth is both Judah Prain and Graceland Awad-Rinki are just fantastic actors. We got really lucky with both of them. They also, as the rest, you probably heard from the rest of the cast, like everyone gets along so well that what's helpful for young talent is being in a very trusting environment.
Yeah.
Where they feel like they're being supported and they feel like they're not going to be ridiculed if they make a mistake, or they feel very safe. And we try to make them feel as safe as possible. And they're friends with the cast, and the cast makes them feel safe. And the cast helps them. And these guys, Alan, Sarah, Corey, Alice, all of them are just great actors. And they're always there for Judah and Grayson to talk to and ask questions about, too, and stuff like that. It's just putting them in a place where they can feel safe, supporting them, and giving them the time to get their performances out and talk to them about their characters. I talked to both Judah and Grayson about their characters and make sure they're comfortable with what they're playing. And there's been a couple scenes where there's tougher emotional things to play.
Yeah.
Talking to them about it ahead of time and letting them know, here's what we're doing, here's what we expect of you. Are you okay with that? If not, we can rewrite it. And so, but we're lucky to have them. They're fantastic.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I'm told we're almost out of time, but
Okay.
very quickly, the TV show has gone on a different path from the comic
Yes.
series. Is there any possibility of relaunching the comic series to follow more of the television series bent?
Not that I know of, and I wouldn't be on board with that. Like right now, I wouldn't have any say over it either, so they do whatever they want. But I don't think Peter Hogan and Steve Parkhouse, who did such a great job with the comic, would want to do that either. The comic is its own thing. The show's its own thing. They do have similar DNA, but they had to be different because it's just two different, ways to experience entertainment, right? And reading a comic is different than watching a TV show. So things had to be developed differently for the TV show. At its simplest level, I couldn't put Alan in a mask the whole time, the way the comic book is, where you experience Harry wearing a mask, or Harry as an alien the whole time. You can't do that in TV. It's too expensive, and audiences don't connect with someone wearing a mask as much as a human. So there's a lot of differences, but it kind of had to be that way. But I think even though they're different, they share the same soul, which is this character experiencing the human race and trying to figure out what it's like to be human. And I think they both work really well on their own. So, and I think Peter and Stephen agree with that too. So, yeah.
That's right.
Thank you. How about that?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I love that whole scene where pieces of baby Bridget interact.
Oh, that's great. That was fun. Oh, I'm glad. Thank you. That's great. Yeah, that worked out really well, and it was a fun way to have our cast all there beating up on Harry. It worked really well, and give you a moment to think, like, wait, did he really kill this baby?
And did they do their stunts?
What was the stunt? Well, we had Meredith, who plays Kate, jumping off the thing. That was really her.
Yeah. A little bit of spider crawling, somebody getting thrown through a
Darcy,
window.
Yeah, Darcy, spider crawling. That was not Corey being thrown through the window. I'll tell you that.
Was
But
that really the octopus on his foot?
that was really the octopus. The octopus does his own stunts. That is true.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's good job I don't have any questions. Y'all want to